Welcome back, everybody, to the best podcast you've ever listened to. It's Popcorn and Opinions with your hosts, Reeson, aka Opinions, and Owen, aka Popcorns. This is going to be a very special episode. It's our Christmas episode. Can you believe it? Aka, as a wise man once said, old habits die hard. And speaking of that, we're going to have a Christmas movie. And it's Die Hard.
It's so crazy to think Die Hard's actually a Christmas movie, but I've battled with the idea of this movie because it's shot within the Christmas time, or it's built around the Christmas time. But my question is, does that make it a Christmas movie? Because should a typical Christmas movie look at the Christmas elements like, Santa Claus in Times Square, or should there be gifts? Should there be this holly jolly music and whatnot?
Yeah, I actually think it would be a Christmas movie. You know why I say that? Is because Christmas isn't like stated. The themes of Christmas were there in terms of having family. So that would be one of them. It would also be the time of everyone getting together. So like how would they had that party at Nakatomi Tower. So that would be the gathering of everybody. And even with John McClane coming in from where he was in New York City, I feel like that would be family, as well as throughout the movie how the cop and John McClane had a very heart-to-heart and stuff like that. I feel like that would like invoke the Christmas theme sort of way. Do you agree with me or not?
Absolutely. And I think you mentioned John McClane coming in, family members reuniting. That whole part of that cop being nice to John McClane, that's almost in the sense of what a Christmas central theme is to be friendly, is to be holly and jolly, to invite people, to
Holly.
be warm.
From Holly Gennaro.
So you have
references.
You catch the references. So the whole idea is to be close, to be warm with each other. So that in a way, yes, I do agree, makes it a Christmas theme. Like a dropping within the movie.
And I feel like also back in like because this movie is based in 1988, right?
Yes.
I don't think it had to, like, today's standards of a Christmas movie has to be Christmas theme centralized. But this was like kind of a break from that because it's like an action movie, but at Christmas, which is cool. There's also another movie on Netflix that recently came out, The Carry On. That's technically also a Christmas movie. Maybe next Christmas, foreshadowing.
Yeah, next Christmas, but okay. I've watched The Carry On. Crazy movie, I'm not sure. Did you watch it?
I saw the trailer of it first and I was like, oh, it's such a Christmas movie. And then I saw what happened. I was like, damn. This ain't a Christmas movie. This is a Christmas movie.
And the people that went on planes after that movie, I'm sure you were scarred.
I honestly thought it was a horror movie at one point.
Well, I mean, anything slight-ish, terrorist-ish, that counts as horror for me.
Fair enough. What did you think of the plot of the movie of Die Hard?
So I think the plot was amazing. That whole idea of getting together with his wife, reconciling with his wife, the party, becoming the hero, and thus saving everybody was a great, also Christmas, perhaps Christmas-centric theme. Could be. We can debuckle that a little bit later. But I think it was good. Everything went great. Everybody played the roles great, and I enjoyed it from the start to the finish. I really enjoyed watching this movie.
Yeah, I really like those old school plots of like having a main character, having all of these side characters, knowing exactly who the main character is, and like how the plot progresses. I felt this movie was well constructed and it wasn't rushed. Like a lot of the time, newer movies nowadays, they like within an hour and a half. There's very little like 2.5 hour movies, because no one has a lot of time for that. And with this movie, you could see the different stages of John McClane, like from where he started to where he is now, as well as how the side characters interacted with each other to this overall ending. I did feel some parts were a bit dragged out, which could have been a bit better in a way.
Like which scene?
Yeah, like some scenes where the cop is looking around for like investigating and stuff like that. And then with like how the dispatch was saying to him, no, we don't respond to this, and we can't do this, and the helicopter scene, like, there was very dragged out.
So I would disagree with the first police officer. I'm not sure, but I think his name was Powell or something.
Powell Al.
So Powell, say again?
Powell Al, I think it was. And then John McClane starts calling him Al after.
That created a split moment of tension. So I think it was very great. I do agree with you about that dispatch people and the FBI or the feds, as they call it, the quote unquote, with
that
the
was
helicopter
an
scenes
ego,
and everything.
Bro, that was just like an ego measuring contest at that point. Like, it was like they coming in, this one saying, I'm better than you, and then the FBI saying, I'm better than you.
Get to the point, we've actually got some hostages in the building that we're trying to save. And that's where Al was actually like the side hero to the story. Both him and John McClane was doing great. There's two like solid communicators, and that gut feeling between two officers. One's from New York and one is from
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, yeah. So LAPD, absolute cinema.
What irritated me to my core was where he saw the police guy with his cruiser coming. Didn't think, maybe let me shoot the window, then that makes a noise, and then like it's like, you know what? Maybe the guy would be like, okay, we need backup. Get what I mean?
Okay, so as he was driving around in the circle, he would hear the noise of the glass breaking.
Or he'd hear a gunshot.
But I mean, it was also a big building and he was already in the building.
No, but when he got out of the car, either he could have shot the window and then been like, throw the body out of the window or like stuff like that. You
Yes,
get what I
he
mean?
could have. Yes,
That would have made more of a sound.
But I mean, it was a dramatic, like all of a sudden, this body just falling onto his car. So one of the, just to give a bit of information to our audience, the robbers that went into this Christmas party to the Nakatomi Plaza, they wanted to rob the place of all the bonds and the like monetary value of goods that was in this
$640 million worth of bonds.
And that was in the 1900s. So that was probably 30 million, like equivalent. No, wait.
No,
say that number again.
Billion. It's
$640
$640 million.
Yes.
So that would equivocate to, or be equivalent to, I think, more than $1 billion, I think.
Yeah, billion real feel right now. And so this was the whole idea
Bruce Wayne
of the
billions.
And I think that was the whole idea of the Europeans. They were just trying to rob this place. And so one of their guys fell out of the window as John McClane threw him out of the window that he tried to break and tried to get the attention of Al, the LAPD officer.
Okay, what did you think of the characters? Let's go from John McClane all the way down to, let's go to John McClane, Holly Gennaro, the limousine driver, because he was also kind of funny in the first bit.
I liked him.
And then the main side character, Al. And then we'll also talk about the villain as well. Carl, I think his name was.
Yeah, Hans.
His name is Hans. He is Hans.
Yes. Which is actually, Hans is Severus Snape in the Harry Potter series, by the way.
Really?
Promise you. Didn't you know this?
No, I did not. That's why I was like, really?
Got you on that one. So, fun fact. Even his voice was iconic, but we'll get to him right now. John McClane, this New York police officer, flying down to the party, having fun, trying to reconcile with his wife.
It was more awkward than anything.
The European robbers, they didn't even know he was there. So he didn't put his shoes on. He basically defended a whole building of bad guys barefoot, like a badass. I'm sorry for the bad word, but come on.
I actually didn't even know why he wasn't wearing shoes. That's what I didn't understand. I was like, why are you not wearing shoes, my guy?
So the reason why he wasn't wearing shoes is, I think Holly bragged about the private bathroom, which had suede carpets. So he took out his shoes to feel the suede carpets.
Actually, no. You know what it was?
What?
It was actually because that guy on the airline told him that if you make fists with your feet and on the carpet, it will help with jet lag. So, and then that's why he was like, son of a gun, this thing actually worked.
Oh, okay. That makes all the more sense. Okay, so both of us are right, technically.
Yeah, we're right on a technicality. But yeah, so it was also cool that he brought back that reference from that stranger who's only been flying for 7 years versus John McClane who's been flying for 10 to 11 years. No, he was flying for 11 years. So yeah, I think that was very it was very cool that they brought that in there, which was like,
it's very
listen. Yeah. Then how would you describe... Actually, move on to John McClane. Like, I feel like he's very tactical in what he does. Nothing's ever brandish or stuff, but he's also very comical, like in terms of he's yippee-ki-yay.
American, and he also made that reference, yippee-ki-yay, in the movie. He was super tactical. It was almost like...
He wasn't like Navy SEAL level tactical, but he was like cop level tactical in terms of he's like, even when Al referenced him to be like, no, he's definitely a badge. Like, this is how a badge does things.
And I found it so funny that a cop would be so resourceful. But, I mean, John McClane was like the comical Keanu Reeves in this movie.
I would say I think John McClane was I feel John Wick is the John McClane. That's what I think. Except more dangerous.
Okay. All right. Okay.
What did you think of Holly Gennaro? And if anyone is a bit confused, Holly Gennaro is John McClane's wife. So it's actually supposed to be Holly McClane.
Yeah. So I think Holly played it a cool cucumber in the start, but all her efforts was futile, I'd say. Because I'm not sure what the CEO's name was. That surprised me right now.
It's...
Takashi?
No, Takagi.
So she said, like, Takagi, you don't say anything. So these Europeans were trying to fish out Takagi to, like, give them the code for the safe, and Holly was trying to pull him back, but her efforts was futile, which ultimately resulted in Takagi's death. So...
But I think that was more on Takagi, because, like, he was like... No, I'm not giving it to stop. But I feel like with Holly, like, you can see, like, how because she was Holly Gennaro, because she didn't take McClane's last name because they were going through that break, and also because of, like, the culture, they didn't want it to be a divorced wife going into that role sort of thing. So, like, she pretended she was unmarried sort of thing, which was kind of weird in a way because they invited the husband there. Which is kind of weird, but like I also feel like the way she stood up to the terrorists to be like, not the terrorists, the thieves, and tell them we need a couch outside because of
the pregnant
woman, as well as they need to take some people to the bathroom, else it's gonna get messy. And like you could see like the thieves were like, you know what, yeah, we get your demands, we'll like agree to that. Also, like,
they respect her.
Yeah. Towards the end, when she was talking nonsense to the thieves and like trying to provoke them, you could see like she wasn't like sort of afraid. So
she had this level of authority to make effective moves, and I think in a sense, buy John McClane some time. And she actually in the movie knew her husband very well. I don't know if you've seen that German or European with a long blonde hair.
He smashes the table and bottles, and he's like, "You're the only one that can make John. John is the only one that can make somebody so crazy like that."
I thought that was
cinema.
Yeah, because she knew he was alive, and that way, when she is very rested or when she is at ease, it puts everybody else at ease, and thus making those demands and making sure everybody's got bathroom breaks, soft couches to lay for the pregnant woman. That was a sub hero move, besides Al, our officer guy outside.
Okay, before we get on to Al, what did you think of Argyle? Like, as that little bit of comic relief, yes.
I enjoyed him. He made some witty comments, and he caught up to John McClane's story very quickly, and the fact that he said, "Listen, Argyle, what did he say even? He said, you're quite fast, Argyle."
Or, yeah, I think it was something like that, but like, oh yes, you pick up on things very fast. Yeah,
so awesome. I enjoyed that.
I feel like Argyle's character played perfectly into this because like it was very good in terms of he wasn't given that much screen time, but when the screen time that he had, it was very good as like a break from the action that was happening.
Yes.
Because if you look at this movie, it's very suspenseful in a way. Like there's a lot of suspense hanging, a lot of suspense in different parts, and like with the interactions between like Holly as well as Argyle, and as well as Al, there's breaks in that, so you don't get exhausted. And oh, this is very like intense. It's very like it's taking a lot, if you get what I mean. So
I enjoyed that comic relief.
Yeah,
you see Argyle sipping on whiskey and having fun, making calls to girls.
Yeah, it was like kind of cool in that way that there was a lot of comical relief.
Yeah, but I mean, we can say how much about Argyle that he made comical relief, but he also played the hero too, chasing down that van, chasing in his limo into that van, knowing something's not right. So Argyle's got some great decision, or how can I say, differentiation.
Side character hero energy.
Yeah, he's got some side character hero energy, and you can differentiate to say something's fishy here. The fact up until the point where he actually drove into that car, because he didn't see this whole like robbery scene. He only saw this van reversing out of the truck, or the
yeah. He also found out that the gates were locked. So yeah, like you could see like he wasn't clued up entirely on it, and like even when he said use the number and phone, like when John McClane tried to get a hold of him and then the line got cut, like you could see like he didn't know what was happening. He's just like, I'm just chilling there, I guess.
Yeah. So, but he was great. I enjoyed him so much.
All right, let's move on to the villain, and then we'll move on to Al villain.
I'd say Al first, and then we leave the best for last.
Okay. I actually think Al was the best, but anyway.
Okay, yeah, good.
All right, cool. So I really liked Al's character, especially in terms of being the bridge between the cops and John McClane, and also being the bridge between John McClane and the audience. Because that connection that they had in terms of relaying what's going on and painting the situation from a cop perspective outside of the building and constantly feeding them information versus what's happening now, which was very good. But then I also felt like that radio that they were chatting, the thieves could also hear that.
Basically, so everybody was speaking to everybody at the same time. So the whole fact that nobody else really listened to what they said, like crossing over. There was a few points in the movie where they did. I mean, this was still the primary source of communication between Al and John, and I mean,
and it created the relationship a lot more. See how the relationship moved from being, I don't trust you, I don't believe what you're saying, or like I believe a little bit of what you're saying, to it going on to, hey, towards the end, like, tell my wife I love her and that kind of stuff, and
tell her yourself.
And then it's like, I'll take you up on that offer when I finally get to see your kid one day. Al Jr., I think they were talking about.
Perhaps that contributes to the Christmas theme. Like, we'll have some new friendships, and perhaps next Christmas I'll invite you over to my house.
Yeah, sort of thing. Like, I really liked, in that sense, the wholesomeness of the development of their friendship from the first call versus towards the end. Like, you could constantly see that trust was building up, and it was like, hey, this is what's happening. Absolutely. And then like Al is like going on like, hey, this is what the FBI is doing now, this is what's happening. And then like I really like
keeping open communication. Yeah, the bromance, managing expectations, and so it goes on. But I have to ask you, what did you think about his redemption Al's redemption when he shot the villain. So, well, not the villain, but one of his henchmen. So, I mean, to give a little bit more context to the audience, Al shot a kid, a 13-year-old, but he had some difficulty seeing the person he shot at the time, and he just feared to shoot somebody again, as per his duty. But, I mean, now...
It's like, and as he said, that duty will train you on how to defend people, but they won't teach you on when you make a mistake. How do you deal with that? Like, how do you psychologically? And that's what a lot of police officers, they have that psychological thing where it's like they can teach you everything else, but teaching you to deal with taking another life, teaching you when you make the wrong call, how to live with that. Like, that was like very impactful in terms of like things that are not spoken about law enforcement as well.
And I deem the conversation between two cops knowing the game, understanding what it takes to talk to each other, better deal with their issues, or better deal with the struggles or the stresses of being a cop, and that made Al like cross that border and finally make the decision like, I am a cop and I will defend these people and shoot the henchman. That was cinema. That was
and I love that whole thing of like how they didn't show who had the gun, but then it was like Al, and you like see, it was like a redemption.
You just knew. You just knew it was Al putting out that gun. It was amazing. So the villain, I want to understand. Like, did you not recognize that he was Severus Snape of Harry Potter?
No, I did not. But I really liked his villain character. In terms of, look, stick to the plan. Look, when that one henchman, the brother died, and then he's like, don't take revenge now. Stick to the plan. Trust in the process. As the words of Anthony, in the words of Mikel Arteta, trust the process. Yeah, it's like, we have a plan. We have to do that stuff. No, that's just what the guy says.
Do you mean Nikolai Tesla?
No, not Nikolai Tesla. No, I made a mistake. It was Mikel Arteta. He's actually the coach of Arsenal. So he always says, trust the process.
I thought you said
it was
Nikolai
a football reference.
Tesla.
Yeah, no.
Okay, sorry. I don't watch too much football. That's my issue.
No. It was a football reference. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so as we were chatting about it, basically, he's like, just trust. We got a plan, we're going to execute it, and it's very calculated, very, very like to the T on things. But then with John McClane being in the picture, as well as Holly asking for these demands and stuff like that, you could see like now he's like, oh no, why do I have to deal with these people? They're morons. Please just leave me alone. I need to just do the stuff. And then also his quick thinking in terms of like trying to befriend John McClane, and then you can see like that American accent killed me.
Because it was the worst American accent ever.
It was so bad.
I think at the moment he disguised himself as one of the hostages and fake that American accent. He immediately gave himself away because John McClane isn't.
If you think about it, like he did his hair where it was all prim and proper, and then when he got to the balcony, not balcony, the rooftop, he did his hair messy. So you couldn't really tell because John hasn't seen Hans, or he saw him from above.
Yeah, there was some quick thinking, and that was typical mastermind moves. Diabolical. But I mean, in a way, still very uncalculated as well, because John McClane wasn't born yesterday. But I did enjoy him as a villain as well. I think he played the role very good. This very stature placed. You will get me, John McClane. that type of.
Yes, like very. I think was it Mr. Evil from one of those other movies, or Dr. Evil? He's a bald guy. He has the little ring on his finger, and he has.
Oh no, man! You're thinking about Austin Powers.
Yeah.
The guy with the pinky finger, like no.
Yes. But what is his name?
I'm not sure.
I think it's something.
I know who you're talking about.
Yes. You know what, guys? If you guys know who that person is and know the reference, please drop it in the comments, please. And yes, we're on YouTube as well, so you can drop it there as well. But yeah. Sidetrack. I think it was kind of playing on that character, but like in the less humical way of Austin Powers. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think even the voice sounded very familiar to that character as well. That that type of way of speaking. But yeah, very interesting, and it was, I think, exceptionally done.
What did you think in terms of the rating / is it a rewatchable or regrettable?
I think rating, wow, I really enjoyed the movie. It was
Out of 10?
out of 10. I'd say I'd give it an 8.5. I think there was some elements that we actually also already addressed in the sense of the helicopter scene, chasing that one FBI agent, woohooing, saying, woohoo, let's go and get the guy. I think that was so stupid. Typical abuse of power, especially if you're a cop or cop-ish or governmental
That news reporter was
role.
a bit of a pain, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that was...
We forgot about
okay,
the thing, but
we
forgot about it, but yeah.
He completely gave away that, listen, Holly and John were married. Oh, and that, yeah, I was very mad at that reporter. And I was so happy Holly literally gave him a hook. And just like, this was all you. So,
like,
yeah.
I honestly feel like the entire theme of the movie is like, who is trying to steal the glory from somebody else? Especially when it came to the cop scenes and stuff like that, with like the FBI and then the department person, I think it was, and then the actual cop. It was like everyone was trying to steal everyone else's thunder. And I'm like, this is John McClane movie.
Yeah, I guess we can see that as a typical life lesson. If everybody tries to steal your thunder, keep to your game. Understand, don't vary off from your path. Keep on fighting, work your good fight, and in the end, you'll see it was all worthwhile. So that's probably, I'd say, some life lesson we can pull out of this. But overall, it was a fantastic movie. I enjoyed it. I'll watch it again. And there is actually Die Hard 2 and 3, right?
And
if
4.
I'm correct. And 4. So
there's a lot. So if you guys want us to do Die Hards in the future, let us know. We'll do that. So yeah,
I mean, we can also watch all 3 and then, well, the remaining 3, and then give a bit
Christmas episode next.
Mega Christmas episode mix. But I
Foreshadowing.
Don't know are they also based in Christmas? That's the question.
You know what? We will investigate that and let you guys know.
Yes. So, and what do you think? I mean, we had now a nice conversation, but tell me, what did you also feel about the movie? Your rating?
Honestly, I love old movies. Like in terms of things like from the camera work to everything like that, I just love it. Like it's
almost so grainy,
old school movie, yeah, and I love that. It reminds me of back in the day, like pre 2010 movies. Like it was the graininess, all that stuff. It's like so nice to. It's refreshing to watch something.
Feels nostalgic.
Old. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would rate this movie as well, probably 8.9 actually. No, sorry, 8.5.
You always give these odd numbers. Why do you give these odd numbers?
That's why I said, okay, fine, I'm going... That's why I said 8.5. I said 8.5. Don't hate on me.
Oh, so, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I said 8.9, then I was like, nah, okay, let me go 8.5, right? So I really liked it. Very nostalgic, very different to what we're used to seeing. Like, I like having cameras that are not as crisp and not saying. I liked the plot. I liked the themes. I liked that they weren't trying to make a political statement or anything like that. It was just, you're watching a movie. So that's what I really liked. Is it a regrettable or rewatchable? Yes, it is a rewatchable. So guys, I hope you really enjoyed this episode. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. We're on YouTube as well as on Spotify. So yeah, if you have any questions, queries, or any new ideas, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to listen to what you guys have to say. Agree when we need to agree and disagree when we need to disagree. And yeah, hope you have a great Christmas. And yeah, spend some time with some loved ones. And don't work too hard, guys. Enjoy. Bye and Merry Christmas.
But always work hard for that Christmas gift for someone special. I'm just saying.